everyone! Today at Grace City Kids, we answered two big questions. We discussed how has God always been here and how did Jesus speak and just create life. We started off our discussion by deciding whether or not God was part of the natural world or the spiritual world. And the kids correctly determined he is part of the spiritual world. Then we discussed the laws of the natural world, and we decided as a group that things in the natural world have a beginning and an ending. But since God is outside of the natural world because he is part of the spiritual world, he does not necessarily need a beginning and an end. Therefore, he's always been here. Our second question got a little bit more complicated. So basically we're trying to answer, how did Jesus create life? And I wanted to dive into this by proving that life is indeed made by a creator and not just a happy accident. The biggest proof of that for me is that in our DNA, which is invisible to the naked eye, there is over 12 encyclopedias worth of information that tells us to be us. This amount of complexity to me proves beyond a shadow of a doubt that somebody wrote all that information down or created all that information. For example, if you were on the beach and you saw a letter S in the sand, you might say, oh, the waves made that S, how cool. That was a total accident by nature. Yeah, you could accept that. However, if you walk down the beach and see Jason loves Susie written in the sand, there's no way that that was a happy accident. Logic points to somebody with intelligence writing that down. Our DNA is exactly the same. It is so incredibly complex that it absolutely had to be made by a creator or an intelligent being like God. We also discussed that there is a law in science that says energy can neither be created nor destroyed. It can only be transferred between systems. Basically, you can't get energy just all by itself. It doesn't just like poof and there it is. However, science also says the Big Bang is what started the universe. I don't know about you, but the Big Bang sounds to me like nothing and then a whole bunch of energy. So where did that energy come from? It couldn't have just, scientifically, could not have just poof, come from nowhere. It had to have been transferred from another system, which they're saying there was nothing, so where did it come from? Or it had to have been created by somebody. Logically, this also points to a creator. That Big Bang, or basically God said, let there be light, and then there was light from Genesis, it had to have been God. So to answer my kiddo's question, how could Jesus just talk and create life? Not only did we point to the universe being created by an intelligent being, we also talked about how God is all powerful, and we did turn to the Bible for that. In Matthew 19:26, Jesus says, humanly speaking, it is impossible, but with God, everything is possible. And Jeremiah 32:17 says, O sovereign Lord, you made the heavens and earth by your strong hand and powerful arm. Nothing is too hard for you. So basically, we just took the understanding scientifically that there has to be an intelligent creator and the powerfulness of God to know he was the one who started it all and spoke, and earth, life, the universe was all formed. We did not get into New Earth creationism versus Old Earth creationism, which is two different schools of thought in the Christian field. So New Earth creationism is basically the Bible says like it literally happened. It was one Earth day and Earth night that God created the universe, and then plants, and then animals, and so on and so forth. Old Earth creationism basically follows the idea that God was a sovereign creator of all things that we see in nature. However, since he is outside of time, they look at it as it could have taken millions of years for all of this to happen. Because to God, it even says in the Bible, a year is a day and a day is but a second. But I digress. I hope that is kind of understandable. These are some really big questions, and we'll be going through a few more of them in the coming weeks. Please let me know if you have any questions for me down in the comments below. Have a blessed week. Bye.